Hey, Brian Davis here, Copper Star Kayak. We are at Lake Powell and we are doing some camping and kayaking out here and some fishing and swimming and might even do some snorkeling. Just check that out. I'll show you where we launched, share with you our pitfalls, things that didn't go so well, things that worked well, where we camped and all that good stuff. So, gonna be a good time. Alright, so here we are getting ready to launch, and let me just show you what we're dealing with. So let me just kind of walk down here and you can see how low the water is. So keeping in mind that this boat launch right here should all be underwater, and you can see where it ends. Let me actually walk over there and shoot video of that real quick. All right, so I'm walking down to the end of the boat launch at the Antelope Point boat launch, and the whole thing is exposed. I mean, this is the end of the ramp right here. I mean, you can see how far up this ramp goes, all exposed. And then not only does it end right here, but then if you look at then how much further beyond it the water level goes. And it's hard to get scale on the video of exactly how far I'm talking, but if you kind of see those kayaks way down there, you know, that gives you an idea of even where the ramp ends, how much further the water level goes down. But that aside, it really is beautiful. So we have a lot of gear to haul down this path. Not looking forward to that, and so I better get going so we can get working and shoot some video out on the water. All right, let me get you in frame. So one of the strangest things about this place is how quiet it is. So there's no wind, there's no trees, there's no, you know, there's just the water kind of lapping up against the rocks down here. But I know that this camera's not going to be able to give it any justice, but just listen to how quiet everything is. Probably my favorite part about this place. So right now I'm heading into the mouth of Antelope Canyon, and we're gonna kayak down this and then hike the rest of the way. So Antelope Canyon, the mouth of it is pretty easy to find, but just so you know, you will see this buoy here that has it marked. It says Antelope Canyon on it. And then there's two big red ball buoys. There's one right there, and then one on the other side. And now I'm looking out into the lake right here.
So, Antelope Canyon kind of doesn't really need too many introductions. This place is a very famous canyon to hike in. Most people access this canyon from the road, and then you have to take then guided tours that take you down into the canyon and take you through it. When you kayak in from the water, you don't actually need to go through a tour guide, which was one of the big reasons why we wanted to do this trip, is because we could camp on the lake and then take our own kayaks and then do our own hike and kind of navigate it, on our own. But this place is unbelievable. I mean, if you go online and you look up photos of Antelope Canyon, you'll see for yourself just the flood of amazing photography and amazing images of this place. You have these just spectacular views where this sunlight comes and shines through this slot canyon. So glad that we were able to go out and do this. It was kind of a bucket list item for us, living in Arizona, knowing about Antelope Canyon, now having the chance to actually go out there and experience it for ourselves on our own pace and on our own way was just really an amazing experience. So after getting back from a day of hiking and kayaking, I decided to take a dip in the water and do a little snorkeling. And I'll tell you, this is one of the creepiest places that I've ever put on a snorkel and mask and done a little exploring. The water's really clear, yet at the same time, it's murky and it's deep and it's dark. And so, you have pretty good visibility, but at the same time, that visibility allows you to see just how deep and dark this lake is. And there's nothing out here that's going to hurt you. We don't have alligators or crocodiles or anything like that. But there is just something very haunting and very ghost-like about putting on a snorkel and mask and looking below the surface.
You know how you're less buoyant in freshwater? I'll go down and I'll start diving, and I'll be out of breath. I'll try to come back up. It's like surface is like way up there. I'm like, oh crap.
So Lake Powell sits right on the border of northern Arizona and Utah. And the largest city where you can stock up on resources, food, supplies, etc., is going to be Page, Arizona. And it's right there at Lake Powell, very easy to get to. It's just right off the lake. Lake Powell is a very large lake. Of course, most often people are navigating this lake on boats, very popular for houseboating. Right now, as you may have noticed if you've been paying attention in the news, Lake Powell water levels are extremely low. And so, in terms of logistics, this is a pretty simple trip. So, we launched our kayaks from this point right here, which is called Antelope Point Launch Ramp. And when you look at this Google Images view, you can see the water level comes all the way up here to the ramp, and it's actually nowhere near that any longer. And as you could see in the clip that I shared early in this video, this water line is substantially beyond the end of that ramp and is actually about 20 feet below where the ramp actually ends. And that was quite a few months ago. And so it's definitely that water level at Lake Powell has gone down even further since then. So what we did is like I said, we launched from this ramp. We left our car in this parking lot right here. There is a fee to park in this lot, and you'll pay that fee when you come down this main road right here. I can't recall what that fee is, but it wasn't much, maybe 20, 30 bucks. So we launched from here, and our original plan actually was to try to find some place to camp close to the mouth of Antelope Creek. And Antelope Creek is, of course, the canyon that you kayak down to then go and hike Antelope Canyon. But because the water level was so low, all we had along here and along here were cliffs. So we ended up paddling from the ramp all the way down here, searched around, couldn't find anything, and then ended up coming actually all the way back up here and ended up camping somewhere along these cliffs over in this area over here. And it actually worked out really, really well, but we did a lot of kayaking for nothing that first day. So we ended up staying 2 nights, and the first night was just get to camp, get camp set up, dinner, all that good stuff. Then the next day, we kayaked from our camping spot up here and came down through Antelope Creek, and then went till this dried out, and then parked the kayaks, and then did the hike. So in total, we kayaked about 6 miles round trip. So it was about 3 miles from where we had camped down to the end of Antelope Creek. So that doesn't count any hiking that we did. And then, of course, about 3 miles back. Now, if you do head up to Lake Powell, while you're up there, one spot I would definitely recommend checking out. Now, this is not part of the kayak camping trip. This is a spot you would drive to just south of Page, is a lookout point called Horseshoe Bend. It's possibly one of the most photographed spots in the Southwest, and what you actually get is this incredible view of this section of the Colorado River here in Glen Canyon called Horseshoe Bend. And I've actually done a kayak camping trip and video on this section of the Colorado River that you can check out in one of my other videos on my channel.
All right, another fantastic trip. Great time out here at Lake Powell. And yeah, hopefully some things that I shared with you in this video help you plan and avoid some of our mistakes. You know, just do it. Don't worry about it being the perfect trip. Just go out, do it, and you'll learn things, and then you'll get better and better at it next time. So anyways, thanks again for watching.